Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection Workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars. It's about keeping you rolling and saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and those what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Saturday morning and your Monday through Friday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, few good laughs. I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and thank you for joining us for the Motormouth Morning Drive. This morning, we're shifting into gear. We are. So welcome aboard. If you're joining us for the very first time and somebody pointed your compass needle in our direction, welcome aboard. Yeah, we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting. Yes, we have. So if you're in the lineup for the queue to the drive-through, grab your morning goodies, your stash, whatever that is, and we'll see you on the other side for our Car Connection morning swiggy. So if you're brand new to us, get your morning beverage ready. That's important. Get some writing sticks, 16-pack of Crayola, crayons, and a leaf bag. That's your tablet. That's where you're going to take some notes. You hand that over to your co-pilot if you have one. If you don't, we got you covered. You can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll tell you how you find all that stuff in about 30 seconds, because all our podcasts are on all the platforms out there: Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Podbean, and the like. So just type in the search box. So when you invite some of your fellow car enthusiasts, could be fellettes too, so fellas and fellettes, guys and dolls, and they can come and join us on whatever platform they are peeling off their podcasts. Just type Car Connection Workshop in the search bar. So that's all you have to tell them. Or even easier, more episodes and project details and links are always available on our website. And we've done that for over 31 plus years, has made it simple for you to connect with us, because now there's more ways for you to do that. Watch, listen, and engage. So come and join us Monday through Saturday. So visit Car Connection businessnetwork.com. The short version is ccbusnet.com. You'll find everything on the homepage of our website if you'd like to follow the build and repair work that we do and connect with our program partners. And thank you to all of you who are supporting our program partners by giving them your business, because we need them and we need you too. And we also need you to like, share, and most of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel, letting the algorithms know that you're not just enjoying the videos, but you're also enjoying the channel. So by subscribing, it tells the algorithms to push us further and further out to more and more viewers. And it's your help that gets us there. So thank you so much to those of you who are subscribed. And don't forget to come along and be a part of our Motormouth Car Connection crew community through our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. That's a website that our videographer, Skippy, created well over 7 years ago. They have about 20,000 viewers on that site per month, and we're there as experts. Skippy did that. Yeah, and that's where she puts bloopers. She uses Facebook, Instagram, and Stevensvilleontheweb.ca to put bloopers, outtakes, and reels that you will not find anywhere else. So if we click on the businesses tab at Stevensvilleontheweb.ca, you will find us under automotive experts. So that's where we post some notes there for you to enjoy. Also, we have our iHeartRadio link. That's a mothership for us. That's our library. But our YouTube channel is where every single podcast, every morning, when it goes live at 8 a.m., and it goes live right into our YouTube channel at the same time. So there's only, let me see, if you're just joining us, You only have 234 episodes to catch up on. That's not bad. You could do it. And there's a lot of information there for you. So, again, top right-hand corner of our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com are all the links for everything that you want to connect. And our merch stores there, put together and brought to us by Freedom Expressions, a part of Total Freedom Addiction Campus in Darien Center, New York. And that's where they create whatever you order off of our store. They create it fresh and ship that directly to you. And you pay safely online. And know this, all proceeds, I mean that, all proceeds. Skippy and I, we don't get a single penny for whatever you purchase, other than you're standing with the crew, grabbing some Car Connection Motormouth gear, and helping that next person struggling with addiction to gain a new life. That's what they do there. Total Freedom Campuses, Canada and USA, are there to help those who are ready to deal with their addiction. And every single day, a new life happens at the campuses of Total Freedom, Canada and USA. And the campus just got an update from Total Freedom Darien Center, New York, right from the facilitators, that the campus in Sydney, Manitoba will soon have full facilities for the women as well. It has been for men only for quite a while, and that is all changing. Housing and everything is all being put together there. It's just absolutely amazing how the community has rallied around Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba, with Rick and Robin being the facilitators there. New lives happen there every single day. So everything's on the top right-hand corner at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Please take a moment to make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. We are like inches away from halfway to our very first 1,000 subscribers, and things will change for us at this end. Not so tight once we get monetized, but we can't do that without you, by letting the algorithms know that you're not just watching the videos and enjoying them, but you're actually subscribed to the channel. So, but we're at about 61% from 90. I think we were close to 93%, if I remember right, on unsubscribers. You're watching the videos but not subscribed. So we've gotten it down to 61. Help us get the rest of the way and help Skippy and I hit our goal of our very first 1,000 subscribers. And thank you so much for that. Let's jump into our morning here. Let's have our morning swiggy. I have a topic for you today as well. 5 things and another Motormouth Summer Tech Tip, number 28. I know, number 28 already. And we're into a brand new month. I mean, the summer is just screaming along. It's shocking. That's the title of this morning's discussion. Something we haven't really unpacked. Kind of like the key fob thing. If you haven't listened to both of those podcasts on keyless entry, electronic keys, the do's, the don'ts, and yeah, that could unload a couple of grand for you very quickly. So you might want to tune into that. It's a 2-part series on discussing what are all these fobs about in electronic keys, and what happens when you lose one, or maybe the last key, because you've been riding with one remote or one electronic key for a while and now it's missing. Yeah, tune into that. That is an eye-opening back-to-back mini-series, part 1, part 2. All right, on 3, 2, 1, we're going to have our morning beverage together. We're going to have our swiggy, and we want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Grant, Earl and Louise Grant. I like to call her Mama Louise, because she is gonna mother you, and she's gonna take really good care of you at City Auto Sales and Leasing. Let me tell you, Earl's the car guy through and through. He is a car enthusiast, and he sells no junk. Let me tell you, you go there, you will find low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. They are Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store for over 25 years, and they have in-house sales and leasing. So they do have a lot of product there, and if you're looking for something specific, you need to connect with Earl the Car Guy and let him know what you're looking for, because if it's out there and it's any good, he'll tell you. But if he says, we just need to sit and wait a little bit, let's just wait it out, something for you is going to show up. It's because they just won't grab something that has lipstick on a pig or a skunk in a mink coat to get you into a vehicle. They won't do that. That's not what Mama Louise and Earl the Car Guy, that's not their thing. Their thing is to give you the best vehicle purchasing experience ever. Low mileage, quality vehicles. So on 321, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Earl Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing. We are blessed to have you to be a part of Car Connection, what we do here. So raise your favorite morning beverage. 321. We have a swiggy together, and it's hump day, friends. It is. It's hump day. We're almost at the weekend already. We're close. We're on the back door. 3, 2, and 1. And it's hot this morning. I timed it just right. I really knocked it out of the park with curb. Today is curb day. To the curb. Yep. It's take all the stuff out. You know, fellas or fellettes. Maybe the girls are taking the garbage to the curb. Just like it's the ladies that are sending in questions for Motormouth's Morning Drive Q&A Saturdays. So, ladies, here's to you. I timed that just right this morning. Had everything lined up like soldiers to get it to the curb. And it's there. And it's happening. Because around here on the south shores of Lake Erie, when the garbage dudes come around, you never know what time it's going to happen. So you best be prepared. Sometime, here's what I've narrowed it down. Sometime between 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I nailed it. All right, what else we got going on? Hey, weather. We need to keep an eye on that. There has been some flash floods in the St. Catharines area, and please keep those folks in your prayers, would you? They've been nailed, I think, 3 times. I watched it before I fell asleep late last night. Lots going on yesterday here in the Car Connection workshop, being production day because it was Monday, Tuesday, and we're getting things ready for a brand new series. A rescue. We're doing a rescue, but it's not more like a rescue. It's been rescued, but now it needs upgrades, maintenance. So if you want to learn about basic fundamentals of vehicle maintenance, you're gonna nail it down right here. So if you're just learning about us, catch up as fast as you can to all the podcasts, because what I talk about on the podcast is not always what you will see in the YouTube studio, in the Car Connection workshop. So you've got the best of both worlds. You can listen to me yak, and you can also watch me work and unpack basic fundamentals of vehicle operation. So you'll learn the 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how you broke it, and we can prevent you from breaking it next time and having to spend money on the same silly thing. And it's mileage that does not matter. I don't care what year, make, model, or flavor your vehicle is. Mileage does not matter. My friend Steve's 010, we've talked about that, his 4Runner, 644,000. Our 07 Toyota FJ Cruiser, 400,000. Our 99 Honda Civic DX that's going out the shop door today. I just got to buff the headlights. And then I'm ready to paint the front bumper. You'll see that on video. Going to completely restore the front bumper for $35. I'm going to show you how you too can do it. So that's pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool. And the rocket just got some fresh exhaust, and you can watch all that on our YouTube channel. Very, very easily how you can put that on yourself with just a few hand tools. And to get a better understanding, the muffler looked normal that was on there, but I think it was from some tropical island because it was full of maracas. Yeah, so that's what you're going to learn on our YouTube channel, is you're going to get to see the basic fundamentals. And again, do not forget this. Mileage does not matter. It's maintenance. And my friend Steve, I know he put a comment on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Steve, if you're listening this morning. He said his parents always taught him. He's a school teacher, and he's soon going to retire. I'm really happy for him. Really, really, really happy for him. He's a good guy, a great guy. He says to buy quality and take care of it. That is what I learned. Exactly the same thing. No matter what it is that you've saved up to buy it and take care of it. Be the next caregiver. Well, thank you to the next gen of the Grimo family at Niagara Block. We've got Kathy and her husband David and his brother Dan, building Canada since 1931. They look pretty good. I got to tell you, all three of them, they're looking good for building Canada since 1931. Way to go, you guys. Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. They can help you with building supplies to get the solid foundation under. Maybe you're going to do an extension to your home. A lot of people are doing that. You know, they see the prices of homes. They see the cost of going in a residential home. They're upgrading their homes, putting additions on to make it so that they can stay there as long as they possibly can. So if that's you, Niagara Block, and David and Dan and Kathy, they can help you organize that and also connect you with a contractor that they know will get that job done for you. So if you're looking for pavers, patio stones, decorative rock and hardscape landscaping materials, interlocking brick, cinder blocks, designer style, basic cinder blocks. If you're also looking for, you know, those thingies that you can put the posts in for your deck so that you're not boring holes into the earth's crust. Yeah, I didn't get time yesterday. It was a super busy day to find out exactly what that thing is, but it's pretty cool. It looks like an elephant foot. You put the post in there. If you know what that's called, let me know in the comments or on email. And remember, two other pieces that our newbies may need to know is Fridays are Fun Fridays. Saturday is a 1-hour Q&A, question and answer. I pull 3 questions from those who send them in. Thank you, ladies, for doing that. And they ask some great questions. I got to tell you, fellas, they really ask some great questions. So I don't know where you are in the mix. You're telling the ladies what questions to ask. Oh, I didn't know that. Liars. Aren't you glad Pinocchio is just a story, fellas? Nice try. Yeah, so we also have, where was I going with this? I don't know. It's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. We'll come back to it. We'll circle back. Yeah. Today, thank you to Kathy, David, and Dan Grimo for being there for us and helping you beautify your home on the outside, maybe creating some special walkways or patios or that outdoor living space that you've always wanted. They can help you from start to finish to make your place extra special. So connect with Kathy if you're looking for a contractor that you can count on to estimate it, design it, start it, finish it, and let you enjoy it. That's what you need. Well, today we've got a 64 degree now and clear. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 5 p.m. today, and the temperature range is 62 to 86. It's going to feel more like, get ready for it here, It's going to be steam heat today. It's going to feel like 62 to 90 degrees. And on the rainometer here in the Niagara region and the south shores of Lake Erie, 0.25 of an inch. That's what we're looking at. And I feel so badly for those in the St. Catharines area and other surrounding areas. They got flooded out, not for the first time, but this is like their third time, and they've lost everything. Many of the homes, it was just, I watched a clip before I fell asleep last night, and I thought, you know what? If we don't experience that, we are so blessed. But for those who are right in the thick of it, they've lost everything. Absolutely, and I mean absolutely everything. Their entire belongings lined up on the street, soaked in mud and whatever, sewer backups, and it all has to go. It's all being funneled off to the landfills. It's very sad, very, very sad. We are so fortunate if we're in areas where we don't experience that flooding because the infrastructure is just not working right. We are truly blessed. All right, let's jump in this morning to our topic, and thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro. 50 years experience. These guys are getting ready to, slow down, but their teams are gearing up to be able to take care of you as they kind of back out a little bit. Their teams are moving forward to work. They're all working together to help you and to answer your questions with regards to investments. If you have any investments in the bank, now's the time to make a decision to get that hour in coffee and let them look at what you got going on there, because your money's not making you any money. That's the bottom line. The disgusting amounts of money that the banks report as their profits at the end of the year is enough to make your eyebrows flutter and curl your toes back and you can't get your shoes off. Yeah, that's what it does to me. I got to make sure I take my shoes off first before I look and go, they made how much money? Disgusting amounts of money. So these guys, Tony and Larry, are my brothers from other mothers. They've been my financial planners for over 20 years. And when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to you from my heart. Look, if you've got money invested in the bank, you need to get that moved so that it's making you more money than you've ever seen before. If you're drowning in debt, you have no idea if the car goes down how you're going to get it back up because you just don't have the funds for it and you can't replace it. Estate planning, you've got a lot of families now where the kids are living in their basements. If they're over 18, moms and dads, you must be their medical power of attorney. You must be their medical power of attorney. Should something happen, if you're not going to be able to give any direction to the physicians whatsoever for treatment. You can fact check me on that. You go right ahead. So estate planning, that means powers of attorney, the whole 9 yards. That means you don't do it yourself. It has to be locked down tight. Mortgages, I don't do mortgages with banks anymore. I've been with IG Wealth, and I'm not going anywhere. They treat you like a human being and fair interest rates. And questions, they answer your questions very quickly, the ladies in Winnipeg in the mortgage department, and they're friendly. The more part is life insurance and critical illness insurance. Do you have a plan for that? Because insurance may seem like an expense until you need it. It's a wise investment. So get that hour and a coffee book. Let's get on that. Let's get a car budget going. Let's get a plan to replace that old jalopy when the time comes and you're prepared for it. And let's get whatever little amount of money you have working hard for you. So you're not working hard for your money. It's working hard for you. So let's jump in this morning because it's not the shopping channel. You're tuned to Motormouth's Morning Drive, and we got to get things in motion here. The title, it's shocking. Well, there's a lot of things that are shocking these days. In fact, nothing seems to shock me anymore. I think I'm numb from the neck up. Most of the time I hear something and I just start laughing because I can't believe people believe it. I can't I really don't. And I don't understand why people don't do their own homework, and then they can laugh hard too when they hear things that are not true. Absolutely way out in the rhubarb patch. So I've got 5 things for you. They're all related to shocks and McPherson struts. And McPherson struts are just a form of a shock. They have coils on them. And then there's shocks that have coil overs. So it's a shock absorber with a coil affixed to it. And that's what the rear of the 99 Honda Civic DX has coilovers on the back, and it has McPherson struts on the front. So there's a combination of shock absorbers on a vehicle, depending on what year, make, model, and flavor it is. And so I haven't really broken that down for many of you, and I thought we better talk about that because the roadways, they're rougher than a stucco toilet seat, let me tell you. And that is so hard on suspension and steering. So today we're going to unpack the business that shocks and McPherson struts have to help you, the driver, and your occupants from losing their kidneys. Yeah, when you're handing out kidney belts before anybody gets in the car, they're going to look at you and go, "What's this?" Exactly. Might be time to have some new shocks installed. Well, here's what we're going to talk about. Number one, how many of you actually know the purpose of a shock absorber? A shock absorber. That's what we've used to, that's the full name. Shock absorbers. And then there's McPherson struts, which are a combination of a coil spring and a shock absorber all in one unit. And then, as I mentioned, the third package is coilover shocks. They're a shock absorber with a coil spring wrapped around it, incorporated in the shock absorber. And there's a whole reason behind all of this. And so number one is, how many of you really know what those things do? Probably not too many. Put that in the comments for me. All right, put it in the comments. And there's lots of videos on our YouTube channel about struts and shocks, suspension and steering components, so that you can learn by looking at them what they are, as I explain what they are, where they are, how they work, and how they break. So many of you just know that they're under there, but many of you do not have a clue what these things are really, truly doing, what they're designed to do. So that brings us to number two. Just because they're attached at each end does not mean or constitute that they're working. It means that they're there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're working. That's where we come in, is we can tell you just how good they're doing. And in fact, I had a vehicle in here 2 weeks ago now. I think it was my friend John, the filmmaker, his 2013 ML 350 Blue Tech Mercedes. It has a coilover shock in the front that's leaking, and that's a telltale sign something's up, and that means that thing is going south quickly. When we see oil drooling down a shock or a McPherson strut combination, it's over. The seals are gone. That unit is not working. It's not working for you. So just that they're attached at either end is not good enough to say, oh, they're there, yeah, they must be working. That's not correct. Brings us to number three this morning. Their purpose is to control the ride and comfort for those that are in the vehicle. But most importantly, number four, shock absorption. Say that one 10 times fast. They're absorbing all the road shock. So when you're hitting bumps, speed bumps, potholes the size of a Hyundai Accent, and you're not slowing down for those things. You're just hammering them. And I know you are because I see it. The cars are just being jounced so hard. And that's where that costs you money. And we'll talk about the steering components tomorrow. We'll start to unpack those so you get a better understanding. When you're bashing your car around, you are costing yourself a lot of money. Taking it a lot easier out there than many of you are will save you a lot of money. And I know what these components cost, and I know what it takes to get them out. They're not always a friendly little varmint to get out from underneath your vehicle, and they're going to take some money out of your pocket. And that's just the shock absorption side of your suspension and steering. Those are major components, friends. They're not just there for giggles. They're major components that are absorbing all those jars and jounces and bounces and thumps and thuds on the road surface. And you're just driving like everything's okay. But it really isn't. It's great if you watch motorsports, occasionally they will show you through cameras set up on a race car just how that suspension and steering is working, and they're only driving on a track turning left. That's all they're doing. Turn left, get to the next corner, turn left, get to the next corner, turn left, straight away, back to turn number 1, keep turning left. It's amazing to see how that suspension and steering is just being crushed out there. And they're not hitting potholes, friends. That's where I'm going. They're not hitting potholes on those racetracks. Otherwise, there would be, 50, 60 car pileups. This is a surface track. And to see how the suspension is being jounced and bounced on a flat surface is absolutely crazy. Now let's take a look at our own vehicles that are hitting potholes. And for those of you who don't slow down for the speed bumps in parking lots, those things are ball joint crushers, my friend. So all these potholes that you're just tootling along in your own world and just hammering the front end of those on those rough roads that you drive on. I know the roadways where I drive, and I know where I need to get out of the curbside lane to protect my suspension and steering components, because I, too, don't want to spend money where I don't have to. So number 4 is critical. Shock absorption. They're absorbing, which takes us into number 5, spring oscillations. So the shock is taking all the hammering of whatever road surface, pothole, curbside, whatever it is you decide to drive through and not pay attention. You're listening to your music, you're having a good time in the car, and the front end is just getting crushed. It absolutely is. And now we have vehicles with a lot of rear suspension and control systems back there as well. So it's money at both ends, friends. Front and rear. There's money, plus more money in the steering and suspension components to give you that ride control and comfort. And weight control. Not, for yourself, for the vehicle. Weight. There's 2 types of weight control for cars. Rust, and then just riding on your own. Just say, no, you have to stay home tomorrow. Yeah. Make the car too heavy. Anyhow, just a few laughs this morning. So your shocks are there to absorb spring oscillations, provide ride, comfort, and vehicle control. That's the huge one, friends. That's it right there. So just being attached at either end is not enough for a shock absorber. Its entire job is to prevent you from being bounced and jounced right out of your car, including every filling you have in your head and your kidneys, is so that you're not feeling it. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is you're flying down the road every single day on the same roadways, the same driving path to and fro, wherever you go, and your vehicle's getting hammered by the road surface conditions. And I'll tell you, man, there are roads out there that make the farmers' hay fields look smoother, if you know what I'm saying. It's rough out there. I mean, it is really rough on suspension and steering. So I hope you're paying attention this morning, because that's where the money goes. The money goes into suspension and steering. Shocks and struts do not last 100 years, and they do not last 200,000 kilometers. They do not last on most of the domestics. You're lucky if you get 5 years out of them. Yeah, they're not the best of the best. They're just there from the factory, the basic. Yeah, unless you order a vehicle specific with upgraded suspension and steering components, you're just getting the basic. Terminology, premium. Yeah, premium used to mean really good, but now you insert the word cheap every time you see the word premium, and you're pretty much bang on. Cheap. So tomorrow we will break out more details on what are we looking at when we are inspecting your shocks and struts. What is it that we need to know other than they are attached at both ends? And when you look at the safety booklet for vehicles being on Ontario highways, the safety booklet, here's what it tells us as the tech doing the inspection. They only need to be attached at both ends to pass the safety. And I can tell you, any of the service techs that I rub shoulders with would say that is a load of horse pucky right there. That's not safety. Safety is that the shocks are absorbing road shock and spring oscillations so that you have stability and control of that automobile. Just because they're attached at top and bottom and they're still on the car, they could be half rotted out, but the book tells us they only need to be attached at either end for a vehicle to pass a safety inspection. That I still don't buy it, because they are there to keep the vehicle stable. So imagine hitting a pothole and then you end up in the next lane cutting somebody off. And that happens. It's called jounce. And it's called oversteer. When you hit a bump, the vehicle jumps to the left or the right. You got a suspension problem, because that should not happen. If that's happening to you, where you hit a pothole or a bump and the vehicle shifts to the right or to the left and you got to make correction, it's called seesawing on the steering wheel. You're constantly working the steering wheel to keep that vehicle in your lane. You've got jounce and bounce that's not working for you. It's working against you because your shocks are not working. So with that brings us to, you've got your 5 things. Now you get your Motormouth Summer Tech Tip today. It's a bit of a weird one, but it is really, really good. And it is another area that a lot of people do not think about, but you really ought to, because they're money. What I'm about to talk to you about is money. These things cost big time, but I can tell you how to save a lot of money too at the same time. Mind the rubber, and that's the door seals too. We talk tires and hoses, but don't forget the door seals. Summer sun dries them out and they'll crack. Then here comes wind noise and water leaks. Wipe them down with some rubber protectant, and a heavy-duty silicone spray works fantastic. Quiet doors and dry floors. That's the good life. And I can tell you, we have Carlos out back. That's going to be our first, he's going to be our very first muscle car giveaway, and we're hoping to be able to do that in 2027, but we've got to get monetized. And we need you, the fans and the viewers and the listeners, to get behind us to be able to do that every single year going forward, to be able to fix a muscle car up over the winter, offer it as a raffle by buying merchandise, get a ticket or two to get into the draw, and give a muscle car away. And here's what happened to Carlos was, It was a busy time in my life, and I bought this car, and I really didn't want it. I turned it down once, and then the couple called me and said, would you come and buy it? We'd like you to take it and give it a good home. So I did. I put it in my backyard at my rental at the time and left it there. And I didn't check on it. And what was happening was water was getting in around the dried out door seals, and it rotted out some big sections of the floor. So now the job is we got to cut the entire floor out and put a one panel floor back in. And does it sound like a lot of work? It's a lot of stinking work. But the vehicle's worth saving. But that's all due because I didn't check on it. I wasn't checking the door seals, and water got into the carpet, and the padding underneath is like wicking. It drew the moisture right in against the floor and rotted it out in less than a year and a half. So just to show you how fast that can happen. So if the floor is wet, if the carpet's wet to the touch, the under padding's wet, it will take a floor out in the summer in 6 months. It'll rot it right out. And I can tell you stories about that makes that 110% absolutely true, because it happened on another vehicle I had, and I sold it to a guy, and I told him to buy the best car mats possible because his wife was going to be driving it through the winter. And I bought it as a winter beater, and it came from South Florida, and it was in mint condition, this thing. The paint was faded, but it was in mint condition, and they took the floor out of that in 4 months. No car mats. There you go. That'll take a car out in a hurry, because how many of you are going to spend mega hours to have somebody strip the interior, cut the entire floor out, brace the body so that it doesn't twist, and weld in floor pans? I'm going to tell you right now, I can count that on one hand, 0. The car's done. The keys are handed off, and it's like, call the wrecker. So that wraps things up for today. Tomorrow we'll talk in detail and continue on. It's shocking, and break down what shock absorbers and McPherson struts completely do for you and how that affects your steering components. So keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring, friends. Peace, patience, and kindness always. Come and join us for another Motormouth morning drive tomorrow morning. We're getting closer to the weekend. Have a great day. Drive safe. Keep an eye on the other guy. And take an extra minute for lunch today. Just tell your boss Motormouth said it's okay. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.